The Philips CDI was a very peculiar console, and if you've never heard of it, it's probably because it failed in the video game market. With a barrage of terrible games such as not one, not two, but 3 bad Zelda games, a horrible Hotel Mario game, and tons of other games that just simply do not even classify as a video game. The Philips CDI was to be the next big thing for Nintendo. And as such, Nintendo was preparing the new console with a few games from its beloved mascot Mario. And so in today's video, I'll be discussing a game that has been long forgotten and lost, Mario Takes America. Mario Takes America was being developed by Sega Entertainment, which was a Canadian-based company and was planned to be the 3rd Mario game for the CDI.
Sega Entertainment and their Cinevillage office was founded by a Canadian investor named Howard Greenspan, who unfortunately died a few years ago.
It was to be a platformer that was being developed from 1992 to 1994. Nintendo had a marketing plan to release a trilogy of the popular NES titles on the Philips CDI, Zelda being one IP, Mario being another, and who knows what others they had planned had this system been successful. Now this game was only ever mentioned once through the UK CDI magazine, which stated the game would have featured Mario using multiple vehicles during the game, and that it would take place on a realistic Earth, and more specifically the United States. The plot of the game would have been Mario arriving at New York and traveling across America in order to reach Hollywood to star in his own feature film. Now unfortunately there is very little that is actually known about this game. But fortunately enough, a former member of the Sega Entertainment team took to Assembler Games forums and shed some light on this unreleased project. According to him, the game would feature Mario traversing the New York skylines in a helicopter, the Niagara Falls upper rapids to the falls, the Niagara Gorge to a whirlpool, a car factory in Detroit, the Carlsbad Caverns, a space shuttle ride in Florida, Fort Knox, the Louisiana Bayou in a speedboat, a train fight atop a stream train in Texas, a highway motorcycle race in Monument Valley, a neon race in Las Vegas, and a car race in Los Angeles that takes place at night. The final sequence of the game would have taken place in Grauman's Theater, in which Mario would have to defeat all of the enemies he encountered throughout the game.
The former employee also stated, the idea behind Mario Takes America was to educate younger audiences about American culture, under the guise of a fun 3D platformer. The game had a 2D sprite of Mario rendered as if he was in a cartoon, superposed over full motion video footage of the actual location. Now the gameplay would vary from each level. New York sequences was a 2D side-scroller, while the Texas stage was more of a auto-scroll type of level. The Sega team traveled to different locations where the game was to take place and filmed and photographed several different locations. These are a few stills that were captured during their actual travels. Now this employee also stated that the film crew even used a helicopter to shoot some of the more tricky sequences. He's quoted as saying, "We compensated by filming strictly defined POV areas like the Niagara River, open channels in the Louisiana Bayou, and highways in Monument Valley. That was the best part, filming the background assets all over the US in camera cars, speedboats, and helicopters." Now speaking of POV, in Mario Takes America there were in fact first-person view and on-rail level sequences that used the filmed backgrounds that I was talking about. Now all these features and levels were coded and playable, but due to the fact that the Philips CDI was not powerful, the team had to downgrade a lot of the animations to get the collision detection to work. Now why was this game cancelled? Well, the project was too ambitious and the CDI was a huge failure. Even Philips themselves saw that Sega was unable to fulfill the original concepts and decided to cut their funds altogether. Sega had to stop their work on Mario Takes America, but Howard was still hopeful to find another publisher. Now at one point in time, the producer attempted to form a partnership with Sega to replace Nintendo's mascot with Sonic the Hedgehog. However, this never went forward and his attempts to contact them about it went ignored. He then asked the art department to replace all of Mario's sprites with a new character of their own. Their creation was called Metal. Metal was a rock and roll star who looked like Dee Snider from Twisted Sister. He had a big roadie assistant named Heavy who would help out from time to time. He was quoted as saying, "As I said, we simply renamed all the sprites and we had the reprogramming department plug the new sprites into the code." Now, Sigum Entertainment eventually closed due to bankruptcy, and the Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce continued to mortgage all of the company's assets. Now here's another direct quote from the former employee. In November of 1994, Sigum relied on those new policies to obtain a new line of credit from CIBC to finance its operations. However, the past summer, CIBC managed to mishandle the account, and the claims and policies made previously no longer applied. As a consequence, the bank demanded additional security, a collateral mortgage on Mr. Greenspan's personal property. Sigum's banking arrangements deteriorated rapidly, causing immediate negative effects to the operations of the company. Now, during these events, Mr. Greenspan attempted to have CIBC value his company's assets in accordance to the new policies it had claimed in April of 1994. He brought his concerns to senior executives and the CIBC ombudsman, but they claimed to have no knowledge of the new lending policies the president had declared. Eventually, this led to the bankruptcy of Sigum Entertainment Incorporated. Now, interestingly enough, it just so happens that the Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce repossessed all of the game's assets from Sigum, which kinda explains why almost no information and media of this game was ever recovered. Now, it is still very possible that Mario Takes America's assets could still be somewhere in the CIBC's archives. And you never know, maybe someday someone in the CIBC will reveal or show this title to the public, but one can only hope. That's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Check out some of my other videos, and I'll catch you all next time.